Recently, I purchased a black 1996 Mitsubishi Evolution 4, sight unseen. Now, while the previous owner was very transparent about what was wrong with the car, and I had a buddy of mine spend a couple of hours checking it out, you never really know what's lurking under the hood, or in the case of an Evo, on the underside of the car. In today's video, we'll look at the exterior, interior, engine bay, and undercarriage to find out everything that's wrong with my Evo 4. Okay, let's get started looking at the outside of the car and all the things that we need to kind of get working. And I'm going to start here with the wheels and tires. So as you can see, these wheels are quite a bit beat up. You can see especially inside where the lug nuts are here, they've been scraping. I believe these wheels probably were on the car when it came from Japan. It has Yokohama tires. The tires have quite a bit of tread wear, and it's going to be really hard to see this, but they are starting to dry rot. Especially if you get underneath the car, you can see them. In addition, one of the things I want to do is you can see with the brakes here, the brakes are quite rusty, but also the Evo 4 did not come with the upgraded 4-pot Brembos. They put those on starting with the Evo 5. And since this is going to be a track car, that's definitely an upgrade I want to do. In fact, I've already gotten Brembos for the front. I still need to source them for the rear, but they will not fit with a 16-inch wheel, and these are 16-inch wheels. So I will need to get 17-inch wheels in order to fit in here, and then also I'll need to get new tires, some tires that are better suited for the track, but also ones that aren't dry rotted. These are just kind of not safe right now. They're okay for daily driving, but definitely wouldn't be something that I would use on the track. Okay, moving on. As we go up here, if we come to the roof line area, you can see that we have this drip molding coming up. On the other side of the car, it's actually now completely off the car. Actually fix this back here. I can get this tucked back in. So this is, I'll take you to the other side so it's a little bit easier to see. But this goes, it runs in this channel here and it hooks in with clips. So you can see here that there's no drip molding in this area any longer. I definitely want to get that replaced. Now, I have sourced the drip molding off of eBay. It comes as a 7-foot long thing, so it's extremely expensive to ship, and that's been a big problem in sourcing this part particularly. Not so much the expense of the part, but the shipping and somebody who's willing to ship it. I've had a few folks say they won't ship it, or when I tried to source it from Japan, it was hundreds of dollars of shipping. So we'll see if the guy that I bought it from on eBay will actually get it to me or not. Coming to this side here, all of the door panels kind of experience the same thing. You can see actually a little bit of rust here forming on the metal of this door. And then all of the weather stripping is kind of very worn. Let me open this up real quick so you can see. You can see here the weather stripping is dry rotting. Let's see if I can kind of focus a little bit better on there. Might not focus that well with the camera, but there, you see it's tattered. And this is across the board. So the weather stripping I want to replace because that helps seal out moisture as well. And you definitely have moisture getting in and around the doors. And you can see actually down here where moisture has built up in this door panel area and dripped slowly, it's actually faded the paint. I don't know if that's gonna come out. I have the detailers coming to look at the car soon to do detail and buff. And we're gonna see how the paint shows up after that. Like you can even see here, these like little streaks, right? There's no groove, so I just don't know kind of what that was. Now, I think the car was resprayed because the paint is in pretty good shape. And when I look at this decal here and touch it, it feels like they sprayed right over the decal. So I wonder if some of this stuff here is things that existed before. Maybe they put a piece of clear coat in. I don't really know what happened here, but you can see all the areas where the water's dripped down. It's just left spots over time. So hopefully we can solve that. You can see the decal as well is definitely not in great shape. I've sourced new decals, but now I'm not even sure if these will come off. So we'll see how that goes over time. Okay, let's keep moving on here. The mirrors are actually in really great shape. Moving to the rear of the car, we have very little wrong in the rear of the car, as you can see. It is in very, very good shape all across the board. Paint is good. Exhaust looks great. The lights all work. The badges are in decent shape. Nothing that I feel like I need to do here. Now, the wing is kind of a little bit lifted up. I don't know if that shows up here, so some water does get under there. But I don't know if that's really a problem or that's just how the wings are. The windshield wipers, I got new windshield wipers, but you can see there's the windshield wiper mechanism here, especially on the front, does suffer from some rust. The bolt is obviously rusty, the bolt and the nut. So I probably will replace that. There's some cracking here underneath. Some of this I won't replace, but I might take the windshield wiper mechanism off here and the windshield wiper itself, not the blade, and then spray paint that, because it's just black, right? So just sand it and spray paint it. And then I've had issues with the doors closing. They're for some reason closing great today, but earlier in the cold weather, they were just, I mean, I actually had the other side, I had that door fly open on me while I was driving because it just was not latching. So I've ordered new striker plates. If I actually open it up here, you can see that their striker plates, let's see if I can focus on that. They're not only are they greasy, but they're actually like there's plastic around it, and the plastic has cracked off. Every time I open one of these doors, a piece of plastic flies off. We actually have flipped this one around so that the plastic part is showing towards the door handle, the latch, which is on this side here. So we're hopeful that that does it, but I can tell you the other night I couldn't get it closed. Now they seem to be closing. I have no idea what's going on. So maybe it was just a weather thing. Not really sure. It's a little bit warmer today. So, okay, on the front of the car, the lights, certainly the bulbs need to be replaced, but this light itself needs to be replaced. I don't know if it's coming up really well on the camera, but it is really cracked. You should be able to see the cracks in there. So that has to go. The amber on this side looks pretty good, but it does have, as you can tell, some moisture on the inside. On the amber side. Now I want to keep the amber markers, the blinkers. The previous owner had actually bought new headlights and he sent them with the car. So I already have these and I'm going to replace them. The fog lights are in great shape. It doesn't provide much light, so the bulbs need to be replaced, but other than that, they're good. The other side, this one is the same. It's not cracked, but it is faded. It doesn't look very good. It's starting to get that yellowish color. Some of that can buff out. So I don't know, maybe on the amber marker on this side looks to be in great condition, so we shall see. Coming to the hood, you can tell the weather stripping here is cracked right around this center vent, and then there is a broken piece in here, and that is causing moisture to get underneath. So I will kind of open up the hood and show that to you. And as I mentioned before, the windshield wipers, they are not in great shape, a little bit of rust, actually quite a bit of rust on that one there. So I think these are gonna come off, get sanded down and painted. Like I said, we'll take you underneath and show you kind of what's missing on the underneath side and what issues we may have there. But for a car that is 25 plus years old, I am really pleased with the exterior of the car. Oh, one little thing I forgot to mention is this little guy keeps popping up. Now I'm able to like just shove it back in, and it seems to click down, and then, you know, I'll come back and it'll be popped up again. So that's probably an easy fix, but I got to figure out what's going on with that. So with that, let us kind of go under the hood real quick, and then I'm going to take you onto the interior of the car. Okay, so we are here in the engine. I'll have probably a little bit more detailed look as well when I go over this with my mechanic, but for the most part, the engine is in really good shape. It has 88,000 miles on it, original miles. It is bone stock. I mean, literally not a single thing has been changed, it seems, of this engine. Of course, there's been some maintenance done, but it has the stock airbox, it has all of the stock parts, which is really rare to find any Evo engine that is a stock engine. A couple things that I've already done, I've already changed out the wiper blades, and I actually changed the battery out because the battery wasn't really turning over, so that's been done. But other than that, it is like like when I got it, right, which is about a week ago. The only thing really that I can say about the engine is that up here, let me see if I can pan up here. So the heat shield is obviously coming off. It's not in great shape. It's tattered and torn. And then I can feel a lot of moisture. We've had rain here and the car was outside. Tons of moisture as this is sagging, and there's an issue with the vent. You can maybe see in there. See how this is broken, this flap's hanging down here. It's not really screwed in very tightly. I'm not sure if I can fix that. I'm gonna try to fix that. I don't know if this can be fixed, and I also don't know if this can be sourced. So we'll see if we can source that, but it would be nice to have that available. But overall, from an engine perspective, very little to complain about. Now, I'll talk more about my plans for the engine in a later video, but for the most part, it's gonna be, try to keep it semi-stock, probably do intake, probably put in a Evo 9 turbo and a new manifold, and that's probably pretty much it. Obviously, you get the car tuned, but try to keep it as stock as possible. So yeah, engine's good. Let's go into the interior and see what's going on in there. Okay, let's take a look at the interior here. So the first thing you should notice is that the interior does need a good cleaning. The previous owner, I think, was a pet owner. The car didn't come in terrible shape by any means, but it just hasn't had a very good deep clean in a long time. Let me see if I can take you into the rear of the car as well. So you can just tell, you know, there's just little things here or there. Car just needs a good once over by a detailer, and so I'm gonna get that done. I've already scheduled them to come out to the house and do a good detailing, but overall the interior is in really good shape. All of the interior, the fabric particularly, is in good shape in just about every area, even on the front seats, which is where you would expect to see the most wear on the fabric. You can see on the driver's side there, the bolsters on the driver's side. That right bolster is one that on almost every single Evo gets worn out. You can see the left bolster here on the passengers gets worn out, because that's where people lean to get out of the car. I'll actually take you around and just kind of show you what that looks like. These cars were certainly not designed for people of my size. They were designed for smaller Japanese people in the 90s, and these seats are nice and snug. I guess that's the way to describe it. Now that's going to come in really handy on the track, because one of the things that I struggle with is just you're sloshing around when you're going so fast. But yeah, certainly they're a tight fit, and you can see just if you get down close here, things like pet hair and other things on the floorboard. So it's time for a good cleaning. The mats as well. They haven't held up the best, so they could use new mats. I don't know if I'll be able to source or find mats, and I'm sure they'll look a ton better once they're cleaned. So some new mats will be good. The other thing are the door cards. You can see they're starting to kind of pull away here from the door. In certain cases, they're actually peeling off the corners. Actually, they're holding up good on this side. I think it's actually on the, let me take you to the driver's side door, but you can see here where it's actually peeling up, peeling up and peeling away. Now underneath, it's actually pretty good. So I might be able to be stuck back down. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, obviously finding this fabric is pretty impossible at this point. I know it's not like they make Recaros in this fabric anymore. They certainly don't sell the door panels, so finding that's gonna be very tough. So I'm just gonna hopefully be able to stick that back down and find maybe an upholstery guy who knows how to do it really well. I am not great with upholstery, so I don't know if I trust myself to do it on my own. Okay, let's keep going. Now getting into the car, the dash is in great shape. All the stuff works. I'll actually turn it on here in a second. The stereo system, there's a Jay-Z CD in there that came with the car. It will not play. I cannot tell if that's the CD or the CD player, but either way, I'm gonna replace it with a head unit that has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, something that's going to be easier for navigation. But all this stuff works. I'm going to show you guys real quick. So, you know, this pops out. I got a little cup holders here. The old ashtray, cigarette lighter area. I don't have the little plug for it, but it's not like I'm going to light a cigarette here. Let me go to the center console if I can. Center console is in decent shape. There's obviously something was stuck here. You can see the square pattern. I have no idea what. I don't know if that's something that the upholstery cleaners can get off or not, or if it's going to be stuck there. Car, it has a resurfaced steering wheel or reupholstered steering wheel. They actually did this kind of like faux, I think it's faux carbon fiber upholstery thing here. I mean, it looks pretty good and it's in great shape, but I am way too tall for that steering wheel, so I have to get a short hub and kind of something to push the steering wheel up, and also probably something that's a little bit smaller. And I'm also getting something to lower the seat, so a seat rail. That will help me fit. I am 6'2", so this is a very tight fit for me, and I want to be more comfortable when I'm getting in and out of the car. It also has a turbo timer, old school HKS turbo timer in here, so I use that all the time. Okay, the other thing, none of the lights work right now. It's an easy fix. I think one of them does. This one doesn't. And then if we go to the dome lights, the doors are open. Dome lights don't go on, so I need to get those replaced pretty quickly because at night it's really hard to drive. Seat belt is pretty worn out, as you can see right here. Seat belt is pretty worn out, not in great shape. No idea where I will find a seat belt, so that just may be how that is. But I would love to replace that at some point and get a seat belt that's not so tattered and torn. Other parts of the dash, there's some little things stuck to it, like this is stuck to it here. I don't know what that's going to look like when it comes up, but overall the dash is in great shape. I mean, just with some cleaning, it's going to look 10 times better. So all of that looks good. They have a little carbon fiber around here. The gauge bezel has like a little carbon fiber look to it as well. So overall, I'm really happy with the quality of the interior pieces. Okay. Let me grab my light too. Yeah, it'll be good to look at it with you and get.
See, you got some minor wear.
Yeah, and the bushings here. Yeah. Which I would assume.
Nothing that I'm seeing that. Let's get a crowbar.
So I had the opportunity to take the car to my friend Sid's shop to get it up on the lift and do a full inspection of the undercarriage. The first thing we did was inspect and test the front suspension components. We looked for excessive play and movement, worn out or cracked bushings, torn ball joints, busted or greasy axle boots, and deep rust. For the most part, we found all the components in pretty good working order. Some things probably need to be replaced, but it's not imminent.
First, you may be able to get these tires off, sand this off.
Yeah.
If you want them to make.
Well, I just bought new Brembos last night that have been. So I'm replacing all of the brake components, the brake lines.
And if you're not going to do suspensions right now, just spray those down with some lubricant.
Lubricant? Yeah.
So that way, if we ever need to get them off, or if you're going to change these brackets too, spray it down the night before you're going to work on it.
Yeah, with PB Blaster. Spray it all down, right?
Spray it down so you won't break any bolts.
Yeah, these look fine. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong there. These bolts also don't look like they look like they've been.
It looks like they put new bearings in there.
Yeah,
those don't look. And then you see this bushing, a little crack. Nothing crazy.
So this is in the tie rod?
Yeah, outer tie rod.
Outer tie rod. So next, we looked at the engine and transmission mounts. While we saw some small cracks in the mounts, they weren't compacted, and we didn't see a lot of movement or play when we applied force. Certainly, future replacement is probably a good idea, but it's not immediately needed. Doesn't look like it's a lot of play.
No. And then you can see some cracks in there. If you look closely.
Yeah, into the mount. Yeah.
But it's still fine.
Yeah. I think they replaced the clutch. Now up here, it looks like there's a little bit of movement here. What do you think?
You can. No, nothing substantial, but you can see the cracks.
Yeah.
I mean, the cracks are there. It's eventually going to need replacing, but it doesn't need to be replaced now. If you look from this side, you may be able to see the cracks there.
Yeah.
I mean,
much easier.
Just wear. It's just normal wear.
For something like this here, you just kind of like use a wire brush to get all the rust off, and then use one of those coats on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Here, like this is the area here. Like, what do you think we would need to do with that? And I don't know what that is. Is that frame? Is that the chassis legs?
That looks like your. I was gonna say that's your subframe, but your subframe is right here. That's your main frame.
Right.
Okay. We need to get some of this rust off. And then you need to spray it down. Good. Okay. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about.
Right.
But we
It's
need
just
to
stuff
stop it
like
from
this,
spreading.
you know, like.
Watch it doesn't get in your eyes.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, okay.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
See, we need to get this junk off.
Right. And then spray it down.
And then spray it down because they sprayed it on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, but then there's the metal underneath.
There's good metal right there.
Yeah, okay. As we talked about previously, Evos are susceptible to rust, especially in the rear end of the vehicle near the chassis legs. While we located rust on the rear of the car, at some point the car had received an underspray and most of the rust formed, ate through that layer, and left pretty clean metal underneath. Sid recommended that I get under there, I scrape off the rust that had formed, really clean it with a wire wheel, and then respray it.
And then spray it like heavy.
Yeah.
I believe these are your
The lines for the
caliper. Is that your brake?
yeah, brake
they
lines?
are.
Brake lines? Yeah.
Okay, so these we need to make sure we spray these down good too. And then are you going to change your brake lines like you did?
Yeah, the brake lines there will be changed, not all the way up through
No,
the
you don't
front.
need to worry about the other end. But I would change these because these are probably going to collapse internally if they haven't already.
Okay.
And your tires, obviously, you know, they're dry rotted.
Yeah, these is all going.
You see these?
Yeah.
You knew about these?
Yep. Yeah, it's all dry rotted. I saw that when I got it.
I mean, local driving, you could probably drive this thing for a year.
Yeah. No, I'm going to get I was already looking at new wheels and tires because the Brembos are going to require 17s. The next thing we did was a quick check in the engine bay. We started with the coolant, looked at the coolant just to make sure that it looked good. We checked the coolant reservoir. It was slightly low, so we just topped it off a little bit. We checked the life of the brake fluid, make sure it didn't have excessive oxygen, checked the belts for wear, we tested the battery, we checked the air filter. Outside of the battery, really nothing else required immediate attention, so we felt pretty good about where the engine was. Looks like the min mark here.
So we'd want to be like in between the full and that line.
So maybe a little bit of extra coolant in there.
And
Put
I
some in
looked
here.
at your belt, I didn't see any cracking.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
So I would leave that alone.
My hand in there
but stuff like this, like on a car that you're going to be using on track day, it's always nice to have some stuff like
just lying around.
Yeah, you have your extra dry belt.
Let me look. This is the brake fluid here.
Yep.
Oh. Wow, that's on there tight, huh?
Here.
Yeah, there we go. Good. Yep. Looks full. Oops.
So we can test it.
Yeah, you have your tester?
Anyway. Yeah, that's perfect. Looks like they changed it.
Yeah.
This car, whoever had this car.
Yeah, the liner for sure is falling. I don't know if I can even find this liner anywhere. And then I need to fix the hood latch and all this stuff is working great. But I need to fix this scoop here, the hood scoop. I wonder if the air filter, I haven't looked at the air filter at all.
I mean, based on what I've seen so far.
Let's see if it'll come out. Oh, it don't look terrible either.
Well, you always want to look to see if you can see light through it. See the light through it?
Yep.
It's not much.
Not much. A little bit's there.
Well, actually, it's pretty good.
I can put it behind and see.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can see.
It's fine.
It's amazing.
This is not it doesn't look like a cheap.
Looks OEM.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So a couple things though that I do know.
You want to test your battery?
Yes. So it's it is. Oh yeah, it is loose. It doesn't look like this is an original battery cable though.
No.
That looks like that's been replaced. Yeah.
So you do want to test it?
Yeah, let's test it because it's not cranking so well.
It's probably not going to test. It's probably not going to test good.
It's in a, what is that, a Conocraft or something?
Yeah. Add, replace.
Yeah, okay, that would be wise. Okay, maybe just run up to AutoZone and
just see what they have.
Yeah.
Batteries Plus is going to have a better selection for you.
Okay, where's the Batteries Plus? Is that?
There's one on 41.
Okay. And that's a wrap. While there are lots of things to be done on the car, it's in overall great health and I'm really pleased with the purchase, especially being sight unseen. I bought the car to be a project car and it provides me enough things to do without it being a lemon. In the next few videos, I'll be fixing or replacing many of the items discussed in this video. So if you're interested in coming along on that journey, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. and please leave a comment below. All right, thanks. Bye.